Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday, nearly the weekend, and we have that huge game against Man City, the derby on the weekend. Will Man United be able to do a job on Man City? We will discuss that and more in today's show. But before we kick off, make sure you hit that like button on this video. And if you're new to the Man United stream, please go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be discussing Sir Jim and the deal and whether he's about to do a complete U-turn on the Glazers and pull out on this deal that he was going to do with the Glazers and buying 25% of United. We've started hearing rumours and reports that Sir Jim is trying to get the Glazers to put down something in the agreement that says that he buys Man United at a certain time and date and the Glazers are forced to sell the remaining shares to him. We discussed this in previous shows where we were saying that the most important thing about this Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal will be whether he gets an opportunity to buy the remaining shares off the Glazers. If there's no opportunity, then this is a crap deal and we do not want this, and Sir Jim should walk away. If he's a proper businessman and he's a Man United fan, he needs to walk away if he does not get anything in writing from the Glazers forcing them to sell the remaining shares to him, because the Glazers will no doubt try and pull a fast one and not sell anything to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He needs to understand what he's dealing with. We as fans, 18 years of it, we know what the Glazers are about, and they are not to be trusted. They are sleazy, they're slime bags, and they're all about money, and they're definitely not going to sell up if they know that they're making more money doing something else with United, and I would not trust them at all. And Sir Jim, this is a warning out there to you. Do not trust these Glazers. Whatever you do, we Man United fans know what they're about and they're not to be trusted. They're not going to do a deal with you, and if you cannot get something in writing from them, walk away. We really do advise you to do that, and if you're listening, if you're watching, and if someone else knows him, go ahead and tell him this. He needs to walk away. So from these reports and sources, we're hearing that Sir Jim is still trying to get a date where the Glazers will sell the remaining shares to him, and the Glazers have not confirmed this, and without this, Sir Jim is prepared to walk away from the deal. We've got to remember Sir Jim has restructured his bid so many times, and I'm sure he will restructure something in line with whatever the Glazers want, and that is what Sir Jim has been doing from day one, and I think he'll do the same. So I would not be surprised if something like this happens and Sir Jim restructures everything in accordance with what the Glazers want. He has been doing whatever the Glazers have been asking for, and I think he's going to carry on doing that, and that's why I'm not full of confidence at his takeover. I really do hope that he does have the power over the Glazers and does get a say in things, but right now it does look like that the Glazers are calling the shots. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this deal. Do you think Sir Jim should walk away if he doesn't get that clause in the contract saying that the Glazers have to sell to him, or do you think he still stays on and should restructure his bid and still try and work something out with the Glazers? Let us know in the comments below. Would you trust the Glazers? If you're there working on Sir Jim's contract, would you sit there and try and convince him to work with the Glazers, or would you tell him to run a mile? You know what I'd be saying? I'd be saying get the hell out of there as quick as possible. So moving away from the takeover, let's now discuss this story, this whirlwind around Garnacho. Yes, Garnacho, after the win against Copenhagen, put out a social media post, a picture of Harry Maguire and Onana, and underneath that picture he put down two gorillas, images of two gorillas. Now, I looked at this post and I didn't think much of it. I just thought, yes, what he's talking about is two absolute beasts that are playing for Man United, and he was complimenting both of these. However, shortly after posting that on social media, he then deleted the post. Garnacho deleted that post on social media. I think it was on Instagram. I can't remember correctly, but I think it was on Instagram, but he deleted that. Now the FA have got hold of this and are saying that this was racial slur on Onana, calling him a gorilla, and this is now actionable. Now they're talking about actually banning Garnacho. This is insane news. Even Andre Onana, his teammate and the one he's supposedly racially abusing, has come out in support of Garnacho, saying saying he understands exactly what he was trying to portray in that message with the gorilla, and he took no offense to it, and he does not understand why the FA are investigating Garnacho and are likely going to take some action against him, even banning him for at least 6 games. If this happens, it's a complete travesty. It should not be happening. Teammates can have jest with each other like this, and he clearly did not mean any offence by it, and he took the post down thinking that it might be offensive to some people. Now, we don't think this is a huge issue. In fact, we think the FA need to apply some actual common sense to this scenario. He clearly did not mean it as a racial slur. He took it down because people started pointing out that it could be seen as a racial slur, but Garnacho and Onana both knew what the message was, and they both accepted that and both respected that. They both knew that this did not mean anything racial towards Onana. So why the FA have now taken it upon themselves to do something about it, I have no idea, but hopefully this does get resolved. We have had Ten Hag come out this morning and say that they are talking to the FA and trying to get the situation resolved, and hopefully this gets resolved and Garnacho does not face any punishment. One thing is for certain, social media is just not good for these players. Whatever they're doing, they're always in the spotlight. They really need to think about what they're doing, and realistically, if I was the manager of Man United, I would be asking all my players to delete all their accounts and stay off social media, but that's probably never going to happen because these days the players are all about promoting themselves and getting these extra sponsorship deals, and that's what they do through social media, and they're trying to increase their own portfolio and profile, and they do that through social media accounts. So I can't see many players accepting that as a club rule and going ahead and deleting all their accounts. But you can see it's quite easy for them to get into a lot of trouble by putting out simple messages which can be construed in completely different ways. So finally, we can look ahead at this game against City on the weekend. What do you think is going to be the result against City? Now, I'm not confident like many Man United fans about what's going to happen against City. Man United have not been playing well so far in the Premier League. Man United have not been doing well. They've not been playing well. In fact, in every competition, they've not been playing well unless they seriously have a complete and utter U-turn on the way they play. I can't see anything changing. I think Man United will go in there, make it a hard game for City, and they might come away with a loss, maybe 1 or 2-0. But I find it really difficult to see Man United actually coming out with a win or a positive result on this. I'd take a draw. I'm sure many of the fans would take a draw out of this fixture and walk away happy. I would definitely take a draw with Man City and walk away happy, because I think that's the best result we can get right now, because the team is still not performing well enough. We've got lots of injuries there, so we have to be realistic. A draw under these circumstances would be a very, very good result for Man United and Ten Hag. Drop your comments below. Let us know what you think about this derby. Do you think Man United have got a chance? And let us know why you think Man United have got a chance, or do you think we're going to get absolutely slaughtered by Man City? I don't think we're going to get slaughtered, but I do not think we're going to win it either. We could come away with a draw, and that would be a very, very good result. If you were new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You were watching the Man United Stream channel by the fans, for the fans.